Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome everyone. I am the Seamster, and these are troubling times, everybody, but I'm going to show you how to make these C-19 dust masks. You see people wearing them. You see them all over the place. I'm going to show you how to make these fast and easy. If you have a regular sewing machine, this is going to be the best option for you. So, why are they wearing this? Because it is made to stop airflow from going farther out. So, you may not be sick, but somebody else may, and this just helps prevent the airflow from going that 6 to 8 feet, and it just stops the air. So if they cough, it just goes maybe a foot or two and then drops down. If they sneeze, achoo, it stops that flow of air, again, going 6 to 8 feet, and it goes about a foot or two and drops down. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you guys how to make the pattern of how to make this dust cover mask. Come on everybody, let's do this. Okay, there are two ways that you can actually make the mask. You can make just a single strap that goes around the back side here, and all you'll do is just take both of these and crimp them together, and then one single stretch will go around the back side of your neck. Or you can, if you have a lot of head movement and your job requires that you're always moving around, then you're gonna want the double strap, which is the one that goes around the back of your neck and the one that goes up and over on the top of your head, like so. With myself, I'm always moving around and my head is always moving, so the single strap isn't going to work. But if there's not a lot of head movement and I'm just walking around, the single strap is the best way to go.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to take a regular sheet of paper, lined paper, and you are going to make marks on this paper. So be sure of these measurements, or just stop this whenever you want to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a mark at 4 inches and 8 inches. Go up to the top of the paper and do the same thing, 4 inches and 8 inches. Make a mark right down the center of the paper with the 4 inches. Straight down, just like that. Now, go ahead and measure from this point of the 8 inches up to 9 inches. So, right on the diagonal to 9 inches. Go ahead and turn this over on the other side and do the same thing. 9 inches. Come back to this side, and now you're going to make marks at the 3-inch mark, 5 1/4 mark, and 7 1/2 inch mark. Come over to the other side of the paper, make a mark at 3 inches and 7 inches, just like that. So now we need to make the front part of the mask, which is the swoop part. So all you're going to do is just make a kind of a rounded action right to this point where you made your 4-inch mark, and the same thing with this part here. Kind of just guess and just round it out, just like so. And then this part where you made this 3-inch mark to this part is where the eyes, where your underneath your eye is, right here. So it's got to like give a swoop so it goes underneath on each side of your eye, and you're going to come down about 1/2 inch and just make a swoop, because this is the part that will come underneath your eyes. And then this, where these two 3-inchers are, just go ahead and make that straight across. Now you're ready to go ahead and cut your pattern out. I'm just going to use my rotary cutter, cut it down there. I'm cutting around the part where the front of the mask is, and that is our pattern that we are going to use now on a t-shirt or whatever material that you plan on using. So let's do that now. So this is just a thick t-shirt. So if you got an old t-shirt just sitting around, this is a really good material because it lets the air go through the mask, and it doesn't get as hot as some of them canvas masks that you see that are out there. Just go ahead and place your pattern on top of two materials here, fabrics. Okay, so it's just the t-shirt, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that out. If you don't have a rotary cutter, then you're going to have to draw on that material and then just cut it out with some scissors. And just following this all around. And it's going to go through. Okay. Now, Okay, so what we have is our pattern here cut out. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew this from top to bottom all the way across. Remember, keeping the 2 points together and the material flush with each other, just go ahead and put that underneath the presser foot, just like that, and go ahead and sew. Make sure you backstitch. Go ahead and take the material out. Okay, so that is it there, and what we're going to do now is just turn this inside out, just like that, and that is the beginnings of our mask. And there's the top where it swoops down. You can see it gives a little bit of a swoop, and that's the part where it'll go on the bridge of the nose. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly turn this edge over, less than 1/4 of an inch. Just turn it over just that little bit, and I want to sew that so it doesn't fringe. Okay, so the top part of the mask is completed. It's nice and smooth with that lip folded over. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Just to give you an idea of what this is going to look like so far, so this is what we have so far. So now that we have these edges sewn, we want to do this part here. So we're just going to just do the same thing, just fold that down and put it underneath the presser foot. And the same thing for the other side. Go ahead and cut off all of your excess strings, threads that are... When it comes to the elastic, there's all different types. So what we have is some leftover material here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew this on the bottom corner of one side of the mask. And then I'm going to put this on, and then you'll be able to see where the next part needs to sew on. So just leave it long for right now and just go ahead and sew this on. And when I go to sew this, remember, it's going to be on the inside, not on the outside. And you're just going to sew maybe of 1/4 of an inch. So just overlap it over the inside bottom corner. I want to do this about 3 times. So front stitch, back stitch, and then front stitch again, because this is going to get a lot of play here, a lot of wear, I should say. Now, since you got one side already sewn on of the elastic, go ahead and put it on. Okay, best that you can. Reach around with the elastic and pinch that on the other side. Make sure that it's not too tight. You don't want that to be really tight on the back of your neck. And once it's pinched and you got a good idea of where you want that to be, then go ahead and hold that on the elastic part right there and snip that off and sew that on the other bottom side inside. Once bottoms are sewn, go ahead and try it on one more time just to be sure. So far so good. So now let me get the top straps on. Again, using the same idea, leave your strap a little bit long and go ahead and sew on the top part on an angle. So you want that going upward towards the top of your head, because the strap is going to run up and over on the top of your head. Now that we got that top one put on, let's go ahead and try it on one more time. Go ahead and take that strap, run it over the top of your head, and it's going to connect on the opposite end here. And it just so happens that that piece pretty much worked out perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this one on. But if it didn't, then I would just cut it and make that fit. Remember, you don't want this to be so tight that it just pulls that mask so hard to your face. You want this to be comfortable. You're going to be wearing this for a long time. Again, take the other side and put that on an angle, going upward on a slight angle. Alright, so let's go ahead and try this on, because I'm pretty much there as a final product. So take one strap, the one that goes behind your neck, and put that on first. Now take the top strap, make sure it's straight, and put that up and in front of your ears. Pull it down, make the adjustments that you need. Feels good. It's not tight at all, because remember, you're making this for yourself, so you want it to be as comfortable as it can be. And as you can see, this is the beveled part that we cut out where we made our guess. If you feel that that's not good enough, all you need to do is simply take the scissors and cut more of that so it drops down more. Either way, feels pretty good, looks pretty good, looks cool. So let's go ahead and put a design on this with HTV. Okay, everybody, that's pretty much how you do this from the very beginning of making your pattern, cutting it up, cutting the straps, sewing the straps on, and then using the HTV if you want to put some type of design on it. If you don't want to do that, that's great. If you don't have the capability, that's great too. So let's go ahead and let's try on this mask. Okay, so again, round the neck, and then up and over. Oh, wait a minute, upside down. Try this again. Around the neck, because it'll be a little tighter, and then this one goes up, just making sure that this is straight all the way around, just like that. Fits good. It's not tight, and you don't want it to be tight because it'll just pull down on your nose and restrict your breathing a little bit. So yeah, feels good. Remember, you can adjust this to the way that it fits your head. So remember, these are troubling times that we're living in. Be safe out there. I hope this video actually helped you guys. Remember, the only excuse you make is the one that you actually say. Get out there, help somebody, help yourself, everybody. Peace out, and cue the music. Now I'm just going to use the pattern from this one that I had already made to cut my straps, just to make this all just a little bit faster. So I'm just going to go ahead, pinch that off right there, and I know that that is the length for the top part of my head. And now I'm just going to just keep using this for the next ones. I'll have some ready to go for the material that I just cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and start mass producing these masks and get them made. All right.